So that will be good. Loads more music and entertainment, all sorts of things coming up on the on your truly local station over the weekend. I've got in the studio with me a local artist, Rhys Clements. He's from Thatcham, and he's very talented.
Thank you.
We absolutely loved that song that we heard just now from you, and that blew me away as well. And it's always so incredible to have something that is of that quality being played right next to you. It doesn't get better than that. It really doesn't.
You are.
Oh, I'm just really lucky. I really am in this situation. So, you're going to play some more stuff for us shortly. We're going to hear another of your tracks first, though, from your EP. Now, this is your EP, Dear Depression. We'll have a talk about that title, because that's quite a leading title, isn't it? We'll have a talk about that after we've heard one of the tracks from that EP. Was released on the 11th of October, I believe.
Yes,
right?
It was indeed.
So we're going to hear a track called Promises now. Do you want to tell us about this track?
So this track is about, it's widely about male depression, and I feel it's a subject that's not spoken about a lot. Depression itself isn't quite widely, it's not spoken about enough in this day and age, but male depression, I feel, is spoken about even less. It's quite a big problem in this sort of day and age, because men are always told to be a man.
Man up.
Yeah, man up.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
It's such a toxic thing to say as well, isn't it? It
massively.
Really is. Well, okay, so this is Promises then, and we'll come back afterwards, have a chat. Very much looking forward to this. Rhys Clements and Promises.
running out of time.
all I ask, and I'll tell you what I want. I'll tell you what I want. Oh, I'll tell you what I want. I'll tell you what I want.
That's Promises from Rhys Clements. He's in the studio with me now. That's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
So, and is that you doing the sort of harmonies with yourself?
Yeah, that's me.
Excellent. And do you do that in all of your tracks? Is it kind of a multi-stage process?
Yeah, I mean, most tracks I sort of produce and do by myself in my room.
Fabulous.
Sort of locked away.
Yeah.
But I do a few tracks with like good friends of mine. Sunflower from earlier was with my good friend Nathan Holland. He did the drums on that for me.
Really?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
and Spring to Summer, which you heard earlier, I did a wonderful little ukulele version of that song with a really good friend of mine, Deanna Shaw.
Fantastic.
Which is, it's out there and about.
I mean, they say that the ukulele is a really great instrument because it's really quite accessible, you know.
Beautiful little thing.
And it's not expensive to buy, you know. It doesn't take a lifetime to learn. Probably a lifetime to master, but, you know, all these things do. But you can pick it up fairly easily. And it just has such an uplifting sound, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
Just makes you want to kind of like, you know.
It's a beautiful little thing. I do love ukuleles.
Yeah. So talk to us about the title of your EP then, released on October the 11th, and it's called Dear Depression. Now, am I right in saying that the proceeds of this are going to charity?
They are indeed. All the money I make from this charity is going to Mind charity.
Going to Mind. Yeah. Wow, brilliant charity.
Yeah, beautiful charity.
And they are really, I mean, and I remember Mind were really kind of, you know, foremost in you know, really talking about things that, you know, just a few years ago we didn't talk about because, you know, especially us Brits, you know, we can't talk about that, you know. No. And suddenly it's becoming, and I'm sure a lot of it is the work that Mind have done over the years.
Without a doubt.
It's becoming something that we're starting to talk about now. We're starting to recognise the importance of it.
Yeah.
You know, and even, you know, just recently I've seen some, you know, not all disabilities are visible and all that kind of thing. Wow.
It's just such a simple message, but such a powerful one as well.
Yeah, isn't it just? It's so descriptive. So tell us, does this come from, you know, personal experience? You don't have to talk about anything if you don't want to, or is it, you know, how did this become something that was so important to you?
It's this massive issue that I see in this day and age is that people don't talk about their emotions. People prefer to bottle them up. And I feel like people really need to talk about if something's bothering them, because it will just tear them apart. I know a few people who suffer from a few sort of mental illnesses like that. And it just kills me to sort of see it day to day. I try to help them as much as I can, but there's only so much someone else can do before someone tries to help themselves as well. Yeah. But I just want to give out a message with these songs that, you know, there are people struggling. These are what these people are feeling.
And that's so important, isn't it? And it's to know that, like you say, that there are other people who are going through this, and also that there are people that want to help. You know, I know, you know, such an important message. And like I say, I mean, I think, you know, it's great what you're doing with your music. It's great what you're doing with the proceeds. You know, I think that's absolutely awesome. You know, and there aren't many people that would, you know, be selfless enough to actually want to do that, you know, because so many musicians just, hey, look, I work blooming hard at this and I want to make some money from it, you know. Yeah,
there's so many more people I feel that could use this money so much more better than I can at this stage.
That's incredible. It really is. So some really interesting titles on this EP. Now, you've got a spoken track on there as well.
Yes.
Tell us about it. We're not going to play that, but that's going to be a little surprise for anyone who downloads your EP.
Yeah, no, beautiful track is called A Letter to Depression.
Okay.
Very, very good. My best mate wrote it. He wrote a poem and he said to me, look, I've just written this. And I said, I want to release that. And he said, you can change it if you want. And I said, no, I'd love it the way it is because they're your words, They're not my words, they're yours. I will convey your message through my music, but I want them to be your words. I want people to know that you wrote it because you did.
Fantastic. I really want to play that now you've talked about it. We're not going to play it. You'll have to do to get hold of Rhys's EP to hear that track. And there's a lovely title, just I Know. So that speaks volumes in 2 words as well, which is incredible. Do you want to tell us briefly about that track, and then we'll move on to the one that you're going to play next for us?
Yeah. So I Know is it's like you said, it's such a simple message. It's just letting people that I know. Like the chorus in it talks about like I know that sometimes you don't want to get out of bed, and that's okay. And I know sometimes I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the not the voices in your head, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the other person in there.
Yeah.
And it's just that I know you're going through it, and I just want to try and help. I don't know how I can help. If I can, let me know. If you just want me to sit by you and keep you company, that's fine. I don't have to say anything. I just want to help. But sometimes I don't know how to help.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it's like you say, I think it's about being prepared to help.
Yeah.
And prepared to listen. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? So tell us then, this track that you're going to play for us now, Planted Like a Seed. Lovely title. And you have briefly told me about this and how it came about, but tell us again now, because it's a lovely word penny.
So Planted Like a Seed, it's not literally being planted in the ground like a seed. It's about being trapped in your own mind and being planted in your own mind, in your own thoughts, which sometimes really is not healthy. Like being left with your own thoughts is good to a certain point before it's just the worst idea ever. So Planted Like a Seed is just being trapped inside your own mind, wanting to talk to people, but not doing so. Sometimes there are people who don't want to listen. They say they do, and they're not there when you actually turn to them.
Awesome. Because I think we are our own worst enemies, aren't we? In the things that we think. And I was reading quite recently that a lot of it is it's evolution, because we're designed to think these things and be naturally kind of nervous and paranoid about situations, and have these little voices in our heads go, oh no, you don't want to do that because something terrible happened. You don't want to think that. You don't want to get on that. You don't want to try this. And it's that it's these things imprinted in our brains, which are kind of a survival thing, but actually aren't all that healthy these days, because life's generally pretty safe.
I completely agree. Yeah.
We're not being attacked by wild bears, left, right, and centre. Well, maybe some parts of the world. I don't want to talk those situations down or anything, but generally, walking down Northbrook Street, pretty safe.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, well look, let's hear this song if you're ready to play it now.
Yeah, no, of course.
That'd be wonderful. So it's Planted Like a Seed, and it's Rhys Clements from Thatcham, originally from Fuerteventura.
Yeah, born in Liverpool, raised in Fuerteventura.
Born in Liverpool. Oh, see, I want to do the accent when you say you can't say it without doing the accent.
Born in Liverpool.
Superb. So then over to Fuerteventura for 15 years, I think you said.
15 years.
And then back here to good old Thatcham.
Good old Thatcham.
Fantastic. So, let's take it away then. Rhys Clements with Planted Like a Seed.
Darling, I've gone to a beach I know. Thanks for calling, I'm at home. You're silent in my memory. I'm alone. darling, this doesn't look like home to me. I'm lost in my mind again, I'm scared, I'm planted like a seed. And ooh, I need someone to talk to. And ooh, the tide is closing in. And ooh, I'm at the bottom of every bottle. I'm drowning on this island, and you don't even know. All the happiness in my bloodstream, my veins are drowning. All the happiness in my bloodstream, but I'm at peace. All the happiness in my bloodstream, just like the bottle in my hand. All the happiness in my bloodstream, my soul is empty. Well, hey there, darling, night's falling, I don't wanna go. One day I'll find my way out of here, but I'm happy watching the sunset low.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Oh, that was just lush again.
Thank you
Lush
so
is a
much.
good word. And we had a text in saying a lush is the right word for the one you played earlier on. But that's lush again. Absolutely beautiful. And just slightly ironic in a way, because I found myself just drifting away into that, which is kind of what it's about, isn't it? So, so that was awesome. Really good. So, again, this EP was out on the 11th of October.
Yeah, it was.
How can people get hold of it? What's the best way?
So you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, all those streaming platforms. But if you don't use streaming platforms, you can also find it on YouTube. Just Rhys Clements Music. I've decided to put it on there so everyone can find it.
Fabulous. Well, we'll make sure that links go out on our social media as well. It's been an honour and a privilege having you in today.
Honestly, thank you so much for having me.
Well, anytime. I think, beautiful, beautiful music, and, to have someone who cares so deeply about, mental health and is prepared to, put his money where his mouth is with it as well, which is just absolutely awesome. So all the very best of luck to you. I hope it does really well.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll hear lots more of you in the
hope
future.
So, yeah, definitely.
And I hope you come back to us again
I would
soon.
be honoured to come back.
Fabulous. Well, you're welcome anytime, and we'll look forward to having you back in the studio again very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Rhys Clements. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Have a wonderful day.
And to you.